Yes, everyone. And it's a big yes. It's a massive yes. Welcome along to FUTV. We have breaking news. And it is the biggest breaking news that you could get at this time of year. It's international break, I know. Not much is going on. But there's a couple of markets that are still open in transfer-related activities. One being Turkey. And one of them has just sent us an early Christmas present. Manchester United and Trabzonspor have agreed a loan deal to get rid of Onana from Manchester United. It is actually happening. Well, it's all pending on Anana actually saying yes to this deal. But we're going to get into the details. We're going to get into everything that's been said. Romano broke the news earlier on. It's been in the last half an hour this news has broken. So it is fresh. Absolutely fresh as it comes. We did hear murmurings earlier on today that there might be an upgraded bid from Trabzonspor. Obviously, they have just sold their number one goalkeeper to Galatasaray, who were also on the hunt for a goalkeeper. Obviously, Galatasaray didn't want to go near Anana, but now they've taken Trabzonspor's goalkeeper. They are now looking at Anana and Altay Bayındır, and it looks like Manchester United have made sure that Anana is the one that Manchester United are leaving. I was worried, I was concerned, I had the feeling when we bought Senna Lamens that we might not actually get a number one goalkeeper still. There could be a chance that he isn't number one automatically. With Anana leaving Manchester United, and it's an if Anana leaves Manchester United, he has to agree to this first of all. If Anana goes, then we're looking very, very clear, I think, pathway-wise. Senna Lamens to be Man United's number one, Altay Bayındır just behind him. Bayındır then leaves next summer or in January or whenever, and in comes Radak Vitek, and Manchester United's whole goalkeeping department has been completely turned upside down, emptied out, put back on its feet again, and has now got a decent pair of shoes on it, because we have got what I feel right now the perfect opportunity here to really make a stance on these goalkeepers that Manchester United have got, and it looks like the club are taking it with both hands. Let's get into what has been said, and it was Romano first of all. Now, I've seen something come up like Trabzonspor new bid going in, improved offer going in. I've seen it from a Turkish report. I was just out with Kaz and they said apparently the Trabzonspor have put in another offer for Anana, and you never believe anybody else, do you? You never believe that it's actually happening, and then bang, Fabrizio Romano, literally 30 minutes later, big poster on his actual X feed, he says, breaking, Trabzonspor reach verbal agreement with Manchester United to sign Anana on loan. Club-to-club verbal agreement in place, and final decision now up to Anana. It's only up to the goalkeeper. Only up to the goalkeeper. United have agreed this deal. They want him out. Well done, United, for realising the mistake that you made earlier in the transfer window and not getting this man out. That, I think, is and has to be the big thing in this. They've acted on it. Again, still baffled why Manchester United didn't move this man out earlier in the window. But look, it doesn't matter now. Hopefully this is a sign. Hopefully this is now actually happening, and United are fleecing themselves of this absolute clown, and I do not care. I feel like getting up and dancing, but I smack my head on the ceiling and look like an absolute idiot. I still probably wouldn't care. I'd still be dancing on the floor half passed out because Anana is leaving Manchester United. Well, I hope he is anyway. We'll get into some more details on this in a moment, but let's gauge the audience and let's gauge the chat on what's actually going on there and how everybody is feeling. We do have a poll running right now as well. Will Anana accept the offer and leave United this season? Do you think he has got it in him to say, okay, I don't believe I'm number one at United anymore. I'm out of this football club? I think we are in the realms now of this actually being real. Anana taking it like a man and just moving on. Please do it, Andre. You're not going to play again. I think United had to make a bit of a statement, and the statement was buying Senna Lamens. I think that said everything you needed to know. United knew that they probably couldn't sell Anana, but the Saudi and the Turkish markets were still open, and they were the only ones anyway that were actually interested in Anana in the first place. So yeah, that I think is a big part of this, and why United have been very, very confident in pushing this forward and getting this deal over the line. So let's get through some more of the news and everything that's actually gone down with this as well. So when you look at it, Romano dropped that news earlier on. Then Chris Wheeler of the Daily Mail came out, and you're thinking, right, okay, is Anana going to go? Are we thinking that he's just going to say no and be a pain in the ass? Andre Anana is close to joining Trabzonspor on loan for the rest of the season. So he is now close to agreeing the deal and joining Trabzonspor. That was the next update from the media on this one. Then you had Indy Kelly came in with some information regarding what might actually happen in terms of details of this deal. Andre Anana keeps the same wage that he's on right now. So, Turkish team Trabzonspor reached verbal agreement with Manchester United to sign Andre Anana. We understand the Turkish club are willing to cover full wages for the player. Andre Anana is on reported £110,000 per week wages. Let's just have a quick look at what Andre is on. I'm pretty certain that is actually correct anyway. So I'll just double check this now just so we know. If they're going to cover all of the wages for Andre Anana, then I think what we're looking at here, let me bring it up on my screen right now. I think Manchester United have saved even more money here. Right, Andre Anana is on reported 120 grand a week wages for Manchester United. He's got 80 grand's worth of bonuses, which he's never ever going to meet. But 6.2 million. That's what Manchester United are paying Andre Anana right now. That's verified as well. So, Capology saying that Andre Anana is on 6.2 million. Trabzonspor willing to cover the entirety of that. So, again, you only have to look at that next to Rasmus Højlund and what we're saving there. You're looking there well over 10 million in wages, again, off the books for Manchester United. More than enough there to cover the likes of Altay Bayındır and I think Senna Lamens and their contracts at Manchester United. It is quite scary when you look at it. When you look at how badly Manchester United have paid their players right there. I'm just looking at it now. I'm just trying to gauge where Altay Bayındır is and how much he's actually on himself. Where is he? Trying to find his wages on the Manchester United list here. Right, okay. Altay Bayındır is on 35 grand a week in wages at Manchester United. So you compare that. Honestly, Andre Anana leaving and his wages being covered this season does amount to the full wage of Senna Lamens and Altay Bayındır in one. So Manchester United have rid themselves of a year's salary of Andre Anana and got themselves enough money in that one saving of not paying Anana to pay both goalkeepers that are at the football club right now. If you wanted to push that even more, you could stretch to say very, very close to Andre Anana's wage covering all three goalkeepers at Manchester United right now. Good business. Well done, Manchester United, for getting this one over the line. Well done for pushing this forward, I think, because this really was something that had to happen and had to happen very, very quickly for Manchester United. We said that we were expected to see one of Bayındır or Andre Anana leave well the international break was on. That now looks like it has come to that point. Let's get into some of the comments on this as well. Please pile in with your comments. If you're loving the news that Andre Anana is set to leave Manchester United, then please do hit that like button, everybody. Get involved in the chat as well. We're going to bring up the chat now and see what everyone is saying on this. A few super chats in. First of all, Ant says, going Turkey next month. I'll take the Muppet with me, he says. Odigras says, at last attempt to save, he could fly there himself. Yeah, he could fly there himself, but again, he'd probably be taking one of them private jets in his little Matrix suit that he does, doesn't look, I seen this the other day. I seen somebody doing a blind ranking of Manchester United goalkeepers, and I think Andre Anana came out about 4th, and someone just put him straight down in 10th instantly. The people on the actual podcast and the show just put him right in at 10th. This is how bad he is. And when you know that you could cover near enough everyone else's wages in the goalkeeping department with Andre Anana's wage, what are we thinking? What was we doing? Thank you for somebody coming into Manchester United and actually having a brain, like a football brain, and actually being able to get this deal done and get him out of the football club. Ross with the super chat says, only negative is if they bought Lamens earlier, they might have had enough time to fully sell Andre Anana on. Happy he's going, even on a short-term loan. Look, whichever way you look at this now. Andre Anana, full wages paid for one more year. We would have paid for Andre Anana pretty much next summer in total with the transfer fees, and he's got one more year left on his contract. I think this now tells you exactly where United are at. They want him gone and want him gone permanently. They couldn't do that this transfer window. So they've done the next best thing. They've got him out on loan. He's at no expense wage-wise to Manchester United. It's a big saving on the books, and it gives United room to do something with that saved money in January yet again. The savings alone in wages this summer are absolutely staggering for Manchester United. We'll go through that in a moment, actually, now that we're seeing the back end of this. Graham with a super chat. Goalkeeper wasn't a priority like the midfield. They identified a keeper just in case, and he obliged by being poor yet again. Grimsby tipped it. Look, I think Manchester United acted on the start of the season with, I think, Bayindir. Andre Anana definitely pushed it over the edge with his performance at Grimsby, and United just went out and bought him. Look, for the last month of the window, we was talking with Romano saying United will buy a goalkeeper. They are looking at a goalkeeper. We always had the goalkeeper lined up ready to go. It's just whether Manchester United could have salvaged anything. No midfielder coming in, couldn't get Carlos Baleba. Away we go, and let's get this goalkeeper sorted. Let's get this situation finalised. Unfortunately, he's a numpty. Bye-bye, Omeron. Let's get a few more looks at what's actually going on right now. It's now close, says Chris Wheeler. I've got a couple more reports coming in now. I'm just going to read into these. Bear with me 1 second, everybody. What do we reckon? I'm going to come into more of the normal chat as well now. What do we reckon to Andre Anana actually going and full wages paid? Ben Jacobs has just come out, actually. Andre Anana is now giving serious consideration to joining Trabzonspor on loan. A move could be possible. The rest of the Premier League is gutted right now. Honestly, the only people that are gutted right now is the rest of the Premier League. Manchester United's rivals. That's it. Everyone was hoping that Manchester United would keep hold of Andre Anana. The fact that we have now acted on this just before the window shut, and we don't have to deal with this absolute clown for the rest of this season. It's music to every single Manchester United fan's ears. It really is. And I cannot wait to see the back of him. Honestly, it sounds horrendous that I've got this much hate for one man. It's not hate as in him in the person, but as a player, the delusional sense in where he thinks and where he should be, it tips anything. Understand, Andre Anana is now giving serious consideration to leaving Manchester United for Trabzonspor on loan. Anana was initially intent to stay, but a move to Turkey could now be possible. Manchester United waiting on Anana's decision. That one, I think, from Ben Jacobs there pretty much tells us exactly where we're at right now. I mean, yeah, I mean, do you think that Andre Anana would have made the matchday squad next week if he hadn't have sold or hadn't have gone? I don't think he would have, to be honest, me. But you tell me, do you think he would have been in that matchday squad? I mean, you've got 3 goalkeepers there. Who do you reckon would have been in that Manchester City matchday squad? I reckon they would have taken Senna Lammers even if they weren't starting him. I don't think Andre Anana would have been in the squad. I think he'd have been pushed out personally. But what do you think? Yes or no? Would Andre Anana have actually made the squad? Would he have made Manchester United's matchday squad against Manchester City? That's something that we've got to look at here as well. Just going through some of the other news as well. Just checking on everything. More details quickly, just before I forget, on the Rasmus Højlund situation and what Romano has just said. Well, we're at it on transfers. We'll get into the chat on Anana in just a second, but so I don't forget it. The release clause into Rasmus Højlund's contract at Napoli is worth €85 million and only valid from 2027. Understand it's going to be a split in 3 years in terms of payment schedule. Wow, okay. Right, Napoli have definitely got Rasmus Højlund nailed down to a big contract there. Shows how much belief they've got in him anyway then, doesn't it? But that's good news again for Manchester United, that these players that are going out on loan are serious. We're just trying to find out if there is any more information regarding this loan and what's actually happening, some of the details of it. We've had Indy Kelly come out and say that they are paying the entirety of Andre Anana's wage, that being Trabzonspor. So, yes, I feel now, I think the writing was on the wall when Andre Anana wasn't playing games in the Premier League. It was 4 in a row that he'd not started. Bayindir starting all of them games. I think Bayindir is a better number 2 than Andre Onana, and that's how Manchester United have approached this. But it is absolutely staggering. It really is. So, again, let's get into the comment section on this. Let's give everyone their excited moments with them comments. Pile in, please, everybody. Are you happy right now? By the way, everybody, don't forget we are on with the England watch along straight after this. So everything that we're talking about here, we can bring into the England game straight after this show. We're going to be redirecting you straight across. But don't forget, right at the end of this live show, I will be giving you the information of how to enter the prize giveaway, which is a replica Manchester United shirt or another football shirt of your choice from across the globe, courtesy of OK Jersey. So that again is happening in the watch along later on. So make sure that you tune in to Football Talk straight after this show. We're going to be on to there. We're going to still be talking Andre Anana. We're going to be talking everything Manchester United and everything else that's going on. Okay, right, let's get some comments in here then. Now, here's your chance, everyone. Get your say. This is your moment where you can say goodbye to Andre. So get in there. Markash says, Adam, you haven't mentioned that this is also a statement that Lamens will be our number 1. I have actually, mate. I said it at the start because it now looks like Bayindir is going to be number 2. Lamens brought forward. I think it's easier for Bayindir to stay because he's cheaper. And you know what? He is... Look, he's going to be happy at Manchester United, I feel, just coming in here, there and everywhere, whereas Anana, I think, will kick up a big stink. And so, yeah, Bayindir will not be Man United's number 1. The only number 1 at Manchester United, if he stayed, was going to be Andre Onana, and that was the worry I had. But now we've made it clear, and like Markash said there, it is a statement that Manchester United have actually now made this move to push Andre Onana out of the football club, and it is a push. It is a push. They have made it very clear to him that he's not wanted. And I think the seeds were sown in the summer, like what the Athletic and Larry Whitwell said. The fact that he turned up unfit for pre-season and wanted a new contract at Manchester United did not go down well with Ruben Amorim. And I think from that point there, look, United had a lot of other business to do, but I'm sure it was a hot topic in them discussions at boardroom level about Andre and what they can do moving forward. And I think they've now got to that point where it's like, well, he has to go. And they made that clear when they bought in Senna Lamens. Celebrate good times. Anana gone. Let's celebrate, says Sherlock. Peter says, if Mainu wants a loan, should the club and Amorim block the loan or stay with their principle of if you don't want to be here, you can go? I think Kobbie Mainoo just got mixed up with the plan, to be honest. I think that's why it feels a bit different with him. Like we said that this morning, didn't we? I think that's supposed to say stand, Tim. I can't stand Anana being arrogant enough to say... I cannot see Andre Anana being arrogant enough to say and actually believe he can be our number 1. Anana is clearly delusional. It has a bad case of Sancho syndrome. Like I said before, though, who is actually giving this man props and blowing smoke up his ass at Manchester United? The standards are not good enough. This should have been a deal long in the offing, way, way, way before the end of this transfer window, past the end of this window, in fact, and where we are now, the 6th of September, and Andre Onana's leaving Manchester United. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that it's got to this long, that we've still got this goalkeeper. I'm just putting something in. Bear with me, everybody. Right, let's get some more comments in here. Just checking that there is no more. And what I'm going to do, we're going to stay with it just to make sure that no extra detail comes out on this one. So we'll keep an eye on it just to make sure we are actually up to date with all of the news. Andre Anana. I want to know if there's any options in there. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking out for right now. Any options for Anana to go to Trabzonspor and stay there permanently? We'll see. It doesn't sound like the most luxurious transfer, does it, for him? But I think he needs to realise that he isn't going to play at any top European club anymore. He had his chance and he completely blew it. And so this is it now for him. If he takes this, then it's a big sign that he is actually realising that his time's up. That's what we're looking at. Adam, it's a smart move. It's his level right now and might help him secure a better future transfer if he does well there. Exactly. It's his level, and if he does perform okay, we might be able to scrape together 10 and 15 million pound for him next summer. But right now, he's gone. He's away from Ruben Amorim and this team. He's not going to plague us with his absolute circus shows that he does every single week for us here. And what we're also looking at is, I feel right now, a chance for him to actually, like Ant says there, get better in a lesser league, and maybe we scrape a little bit of value out of it, and he's gone next summer permanently, because his contract ends anyway, a year. He's got 2 years left, so after this season, going into next summer transfer window, one year left. Just sell him for 10, 15 million, whatever you can, and let's just part ways amicably and move on. And that is the end of the Andre Onana era at Manchester United. Another goalkeeper that is gone. Right, okay, let's just double check on some more news. I've got loads of this Onana stuff keeping on flooding through right now. Yeah, honestly, like, I've just seen something from Alex Crook from TalkSport come out here. I don't know where he's going with this, to be honest. But yeah, the phrase "no shit Sherlock" comes to mind. United won't block Andre Onana if he chooses a loan move to Trabzonspor. And United have just negotiated that loan move, Alex. Come on, mate. Why would we want to block a move that we've just negotiated? Look, if anything, it's more journalists coming out talking positively about this transfer. And by positive, I mean Manchester United actually moving Andre Anana on in the first place. That's what needs to happen here. Let's get some more comments on this, everybody. Pile into the chats, have your say. We are going to stay with it and make sure that we cover every single bit of news coming from this potential loan move for Anana as we go through the show. Let's get it up. Why would he take that transfer? Explain that to me. Why would he take that transfer? I think he'd take that transfer because he can play football again, mate, and still earn that wage. He isn't getting a contract at Manchester United. This is why he hasn't played in the Premier League. It's been made very clear to him that he needs to move on, and he is going to be third choice behind the other goalkeepers at the football club right now. His career's hanging in the balance, and like I said, he's only got 1 year left after this season. If he isn't playing football, again, just to answer the question, why would he take that move? No AFCON, no World Cup. Not playing football right now is a nightmare for all players, particularly international ones. And so, again, like, even if it is Cameroon, and no disrespect to them, but you have to look at this and say, look, well, of course, Andre Anana needs to be playing football to get into the international fold. Otherwise, he's going to miss out. You watch, he'll go to Trabzonspor and be pulling off worldy saves and a ball playing like a G. I guarantee it. I hope he does, mate. I hope he does. That goes back to what was happening with Marcus Rashford earlier on as well. Like, I really want him to do well. I really do want him to do well. Because he's never coming back to us again anyway, but it helps us sell them. So hopefully he is a ball playing like a G, mate, and he is pulling off worldy saves, because that way we know and we can guarantee he will be definitely sold then at the end of the season on a permanent deal. So, yeah, I'm all for it, mates. I'm all for it. Massimo Taibbi was our worst keeper, but Anana is a close second. Carlos, I disagree. I think Andre Anana is the worst I've ever seen at Manchester United. The man is absolutely pathetic in front of goal. Honestly, in goal. I would take it Taibbi over Andre Anana. I really would. Why do we spend so much time talking about Anana and Rashford? Neither of these players is of real importance. Mate, Winston, come on, buddy. You know that they are. Because while they're there, earning a fortune, we cannot bring in anybody else, mate. So we're celebrating the fact that we're actually acting as a football club and getting rid of crap that's not going to do anything for us. So, yeah, that's why we're talking about them. That's why they're important. And that is definitely why they are relevant to any conversation right now for Manchester United. 100% relevant and important. Don't forget, everybody, tonight on Match Bingo, we are covering the England game. There is amazing offers on right now on Match Bingo, people. Make sure that you get your tickets now. Join us for the game on the watch along, first of all, straight after this show onto Football Talks. Don't forget, throughout the whole watch along, we are going to be doing we're going to be looking at giving away the prizes for the football shirts as well. We have got a community post up right now on our YouTube community page, which is giving you the information on everything happening with the giveaway. So make sure that you go and check that after the show finishes. So the shirt giveaway community post is up now, and now you enter that competition. That's on YouTube, now on FUTV. Go check that out. But also, we are running our usual Match Bingo game on the England game today. So make sure that you come and join us. The link is now in the live chat, everybody. Pinned it up there. The QR code is on your screen. Scan that QR code. We're going to be doing England today. It is, you could say it's an important game. It's a World Cup qualifier. But there were great offers on Match Bingo. So come along, have a bit of banter with your mates. Play Match Bingo with us on the watch along on Football Talks. And grab yourself possibly 250 quid while watching England on a Saturday afternoon with a beer. What more could you ask for your Saturday afternoon entertainment? And on top of that, we get to talk about Anana not being at Man United anymore for another 2 hours of football. God, yes. Honestly, I'd watch England every day of the week right now if I knew that Onana was going to be the topic of conversation while watching that game. You can see there as well, Creators United has just put up there, if you put in promo code FUTV on the Match Bingo app, you will gain 200% bonus, deposit bonus, 200%. So get onto it, please, everybody. Get onto it and let's go. Also on this as well, don't forget, we're starting the watch along at 4:30. So we're going to stay on here to make sure that we've got all of the news covered on Anana up until that point and then move across. So make sure you do please give the video a like here on Forever United TV if you're excited about the news that Anana is leaving Manchester United. Let's get them likes up, everyone. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. We are 360 subscribers away from the 100,000 mark. That is still mental every time I say it. But thank you again for all of your support, everybody. Mr. Dacia Sandero says, no, Anana is the worst, especially because he's been here so long. At least Taiba moved on quickly and saved his career, as he did well when he moved on. Anana actually thinks he's a top keeper. That is a fair point, actually, right there. Galvatron. Like I said to people before, if I was the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, etc., I wouldn't be worried about United this season, but I would next season as the last of the high contract deadwood are gone. Yep, it's a very, very, very good point made right there by Galvatron, because it is the end of all of the high-earning, prima donna, over-entitled players that have just been holding Manchester United back. It's the best way I could describe them, because that is what it is, isn't it? They are the players that have really held United back, and I do think that United are coming to the back end of them days now, and I think that's what's important to remember as well. Good riddance, Anana. Close the door behind you. Thank you for the super chat, Robert. I'm loving the upbeat mood in the chat right now because Anana's leaving. Let's going to run through as many comments as we possibly can. So get in there right now, everybody. I'm going hell for leather. Here we go. You old Un says, United are not rid of Rashford and Anana permanently. Worst luck. Look, they're out for this season and we get to possibly move them on for money next season. I think that's what we've got to look at with that one. Louise Anthony says, on the ball again with the news. Top man, thank you, Louise. I love that. Spain Day should go as well. It says, a blockhead. I think eventually he will do going into the new season. Realist says, I personally drive him to Turkey. He needs to be done. This needs to be done. I think it will be done. I think it definitely will be done. And I look at just him not being there at Manchester United right now just lifts everybody up, I think, in terms of levels. It's like another player that wasn't doing it or wasn't good enough has now been moved on by Manchester United. This needs to keep on happening. And I think as long as we do keep this up, I think there will be a belief within this squad, within this fan base, within this club, that we are going to be moving in the right direction. Ant says, with loads of laughing, says, who thinks Anana can actually hold the door handle long enough to close it? Gifted membership from London. Thank you for that, buddy. I love that, matey. What else have we got in here? Quickly, let's move on through these as best as we can. Robaz says, Amrim just doing the Amrim thing, just like at Sporting. Ineos, ultimate move for this manager. Well done. Look, there's a lot of people made a lot out of what Ruben did at Sporting, which was moving on 20 plus players. Like, we are moving on some serious players right now, and players on serious money as well. And when you look at it, it's like we've just said there, right? When we just break it down, what we've actually saved. If you look at Rashford and his, these are the loans alone. So Rashford saved us 14 million. Sancho, when you work it out, it was near enough, around about 8 million with his deductions. Rasmus Højlund was around about 4 million as well. And what else have we got in there in terms of loans? Well, we've got rid of Anthony's wages, so you could say there's another 8 million there as well in Anthony's. But let's just leave that out of it right now. Andre Anana going as well. When you look at that, the Manchester United right now, in terms of their wage bill, let's just work this out. I'm just trying to find Anana again here. So, yeah, 6. My God, that's scary. 6. No, actually, no. Sancho would have been more. I've got that wrong. Right, so I make it out right now, just the loans alone. So let's just say Anana, Rasmus, Sancho and Rashford. In terms of wages saved for Manchester United, it works out at 34 million quid. Wow, 34 million in wages that Manchester United are saving themselves. Yet they've had to bring other players back in, but just think about it. 34 million. That is absolutely staggering. I don't even think the new players coming in have reached near half of that value. So United have brought in players that are going to play for them and cut the wage bill in half for this season. Yet them players have got to come back from loan. I get it. And we've got to do this all again next summer. But all again next summer means that Sancho is already gone. It means, obviously, on top of that, you've got Casemiro and Maguire's wages also gone. Malacia's wages gone. And by the way, if we get Malacia on this bill as well, then we're going to be getting closer to 40 million in wages that Man United are not paying anymore. And let's be honest, we didn't want Anana in. We didn't think Rasmus was good enough. Rashford wasn't playing. Sancho wasn't playing. Malacia isn't playing for Manchester United. And what we've done is we brought another 5 players in that are going to walk into that first 11 for Manchester United. I think that's what we're looking at, aren't we? I think that's what it is. Well, 4 players we brought in that are going to change the face of that starting 11 for Manchester United. That's what's really interesting for me. The amount of money in the business United have done. But all of that, on top of Anana leaving, us potentially getting a better goalkeeper. This, I think, is, for me right now, probably the biggest and best transfer window that we've ever had still because of that. Because we can now go into January as well. Yes. 34 million a year, save that per year, and you'll pay off the debts in 29 years. We don't need to pay off the debt, to be honest. That will go down in time itself if United are successful. We're only going to be successful if United are winning trophies. And without Andre Anana in goal, without Rasmus Højlund up front, Manchester United stand a miles better chance already than what we did last season. It's just a shame that Anana's parting gift for Manchester United was dumping us out of another trophy again, like he single-handedly did in his first season with the Champions League. He literally did dump us out of the Carabao Cup with his performance at Grimsby as well. And I'm not surprised, and I agree with what everyone is saying in the chat when they say that was the final nail in the coffin for Andre Onana's Manchester United career. 100% guaranteed it was, wasn't it? Rudvish in the chat says, I was watching Anana mistakes a few hours ago, and that video was surprisingly full of Ajax days, which made me wonder how the United scouts and transfer department gave the green light to that. You probably in that highlights reel seen actual footage of him at Inter Milan dropping clangers as well, mate. So yeah, it wasn't just at Manchester United. He has got a record for this, and good point made there by actually bringing up the previous clubs he was at and how bad he was there as well. So yeah, I think a lot of people do forget about what he was like before at other clubs. It does bring into focus Manchester United actually, well, what we were doing in the recruitment department anyway. So yeah, again, great comment there and great point to make that. Look, everybody laughs at what's actually going on. You all right, Kaz? What's up? Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. Kaz has just brought in a really nice donut. So we've got a nice cake. It's like a celebration cake just for Andre Anana leaving Manchester United. This is how big it was. So, yeah, big celebration. I'll stuff that down me when finish the show, actually, before we do the watch along. But, yeah, what a day. What a day this could be. Just to go through all of the news again to keep you completely updated on where we're at, why we're doing this show, and what's actually happened. Fabrizio Romano broke the news about an hour ago, saying that Manchester United and Trabzonspor in Turkey have agreed club to club for a loan to take Andre Anana from Manchester United to Turkey. That is I did say thank you, didn't I? Sorry, everyone. I said thank you. No, you don't look like that. Sorry, everyone. Right, so yeah, the news is Fabrizio Romano broke earlier on that deal was done. It's all now just resting on Andre Anana. What we've got now is the fact that Manchester United are actually now waiting on Anana to decide. We've also got details on what might actually happen with Andre Anana's wages. Indy Kelly also came out and said that Manchester United are going to have the whole wage paid by Trabzonspor for a whole year for Andre Anana, which is amazing because we worked it out. We're saving approximately 6.2 million this year in wages for Andre Anana. So where there isn't a loan fee, we still get it covered by obviously by Trabzonspor, and that saves us money to maybe then move on to and spend in January. I just feel like now that's what Manchester United's focus must really be. And I do think that United are in a great position now to go after a Carlos Baleba. There is stories about that floating around. I may do a little bit more content on that later on, actually, because there's been some talk about that as well today. But all of this just helps Manchester United. It helps the club massively in terms of the wages. And like we said there, we are saving approximately now 40 million this year in wages, like I just said. If you've taken half of that away with the other players that we brought in, then we are really looking at being able to go with the Garnacho money and everything else that we've got with the Rasmus Højlund loan fee, go and make a serious attempt on buying Carlos Baleba in January. I think that's where we're actually at right now with Manchester United. And I do think that there could be big movement now in January for United. This all just bubbles up nicely for us to get excited about and actually get everything, I think, in place for what we need to go at the back end of this season. So we might not have got our midfielder at the start of this transfer, start of this season, the summer transfer window, but we could now, with what we've got saved, go out and get our midfielder in the second part of this season. That, I think, is, to be honest, that is not, it's not ideal, but I think probably, again, like with a midfielder coming in the summer, that would have made it absolutely a 10 out of 10 transfer window for Manchester United. Anana leaving, Rasmus leaving, and the whole bomb squad leaving. I'm sorry, if you're not happy with that, then I can't help you at all. But this definitely is up there with one of our best transfer windows. If we could squeeze a midfielder in January on top of what we did in the summer, then what a 6 months that's been for Manchester United transfers in transforming this football team. That, I think, is everything that we were all hoping for as a fan base. Everybody was thinking that's what would be great. We were never convinced that was going to happen. But, again, there you go. Manchester United do have a football structure in place now, and we now have people in place that can get these sorts of deals done. I would have never had any hope of this happening before this new recruitment team and management team was in at Manchester United. Not a hope in hell that we could get these sorts of deals done. But now we can, and now we are, and I'm a happy Man United fan because the focus is on the football. It's not about filling shirts anymore. It's not about Manchester United actually having people in Manchester United shirts that are just there to make the numbers up. These are people that are going to actually, and players that are going to actually make Manchester United better going forward and actually make us a better team. That's what we're looking at right now. So, yeah, massively important that Manchester United get that done. And we are moving in the right direction. That is it, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of this show. We are going to jump across now to the England watch along over on Football Talks. You're going to be redirected across there, so I'm going to see you there in a few moments. Also, before you go on to the watch along, check out the community post on FUTV on YouTube right now. That gives you the information how to enter the free shirt giveaway, which we're going to be doing live on the watch along as well on Football Talks. Thank you, everybody. Absolutely amazing job. Thanks for the super chats, all the likes, new subscribers as well. Make sure that you do like the video on the way out. Hit that subscribe button. I will see you over on Football Talks in just a moment's time. We're going to be doing the England watch along. I'll see you there, everybody. Thank you very much. And yeah, let's see if England can finish off what's actually been a decent day so far.